So I was kind of in this point when I first got to college where I was like, yeah, I'm going to be a vet. I was pre-accepted to the vet school. So I was like, yeah, I'm vet. I was ready to go. And I woke up one day and I realized, oh my God, I'm so unhappy. And I don't really think I want to be a vet. Like, I think I just have wanted to be so long that I feel like I have to. And I really didn't want to. I was just so sick of getting peed on and pooped on. And it was just like, I was ready. You know, I finally realized I did not want to do this. And it was scary to be like, something that you wanted for 20 years, you're turning it all upside down, and what am I going to do if we're not going to be a vet? I had no idea, and that was scary, but just like the Cheshire Cat said, it was a road that was still okay to be on, and it was unexpected and it made me nervous, but it was the best thing I did in my life. It was to decide I'm going to shake things up and do something else. So ironically, the only animal I didn't have or hated, I'm not kidding you, I hated cats for 20 years. You can go to the next slide. Now I am not a vet, and this is my cat. So I now have a cat, and I'm not a vet. Does anyone get the name Gryffindor? Do I have any Harry Potter fans? I'm in love with Gryffindor. But the point of this is being that don't drop out of school. But it's okay to not know where you're going. You spend so much time worrying about the final destination that just enjoy it and do things that are unexpected. Those are usually the best things. So I moved to Colorado out of nowhere. Actually, Mike Manning, if you guys, who watched Railroad? Okay, cool. Good show. Ow, ow. It's all right show. So one of my roommates on the show was named Mike Manning. Ooh la la. Yeah.
Hey. What? Oh my God.
Judging. Fight over it. So Mike is one of my favorite people in the world, and he was like, Emma, you need to come try snowboarding. And at this point, I had dropped out of school. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I was in a really dark place because everything has been flipped upside down. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I wanted to be a vet. Now I have no idea. And to me, that was like the biggest thing. You know, like I was failing people and I was being a failure by not finishing school or by not even completing something or not knowing what I wanted to do. And so I came to visit in Colorado and I fell in love with it. It made me very nervous to do so, but I decided I wanted to learn how to snowboard. So I packed up my car, I drove to Colorado, I lived in Keystone, and I found this new love for life, this new love for adventure, this new love for snowboarding. We were talking snowboarder earlier. You might not be here anymore, but there was just such a fun thing about trying something new and being great. And it was so scary, but I did it. And so not only did that happen, but Real World was starting to air at this time. And I was just like, oh my God, I don't know. There's some, you can relate, watching yourself on TV is one of the scariest things in the world. And it was so scary, I didn't do it. I was so hard on myself and so unhappy with the, it wasn't even like there was something huge, but I just nitpicked everything I saw. I was like, oh God, that was disgusting. Why did you do that? Why did you wear that? Brush your goddamn hair, like, fix yourself. Like, I just was so hard on myself. I hated the way, I thought I had huge thunder thighs, and I thought I looked so gross, and my face was breaking out, and I just didn't like it, and I decided to finally do something about it. So I was in this new place in Colorado, I was learning how to snowboard, and I was like, I'm finally going to take control of my life and learn how to eat right, and I'm going to learn how to go to the gym and not be lost, because that's such a big thing, is like, you go to the gym and you're like, oh, well, this looks like I should do this, like, anyone's in there, I feel like everyone's in there. You look at the picture and you're just like, I wish that's what I do. There's some machines that, you see people try, and we've all been there, but it's like a very overwhelming experience. So I did my research, and I decided I was going to learn how to get fit and how to change my body by the way I ate and by the way I worked out. And so what happened was this big cycle of trying these things. You can go to the next slide. These things all happened where I was proud of myself and I learned how to love myself. And I decided that, loving myself is probably it's just the most important thing I've ever done. And it's not that you're loving yourself 3 years ago. It's not loving yourself after you cross your marathon line. It is loving yourself right now and in the moment that you're in. Okay, so, next slide. Oh wait, sorry, go back. Can we talk about Catwoman real quick? Who's seen Catwoman? Most of you guys, who doesn't love Halle Berry? Oh my god. But the Catwoman, when I watched it, I hated cats, so I didn't see Catwoman until like a week ago. And now I love it. No, right? I was missing out. That's the one I hate.
I know, yeah.
Remember, before Catwoman was Catwoman, do you guys remember Patience before she was Catwoman?
Yeah.
This is my analogy. I swear, this is what happened. I was in Keystone, I was depressed, I was rocking out of school, I was just miserable, I hated the way I looked, and then I didn't die, and I didn't get breathed on by cats, but I felt like this whole cycle of loving myself turned me into a whole different person. I became confident, I was proud of myself. You can go to the next one. These are the 4 things. I know. What is this? And I didn't just love myself, like going into a mirror and being like, oh, isn't this good? It was like physically, mentally, and spiritually. There were 3 ways that you need to learn how to love yourself. Number 1, appreciate all the good that you are. I mean, we are all, not to be too like tree hugger, but every single person in this room is like so different. And your story, just like Jeff said, we all have a story. It is so unique and so beautiful. And it's just like, you have to appreciate that you were put on this earth for a reason. And nobody else can replace you. So, 1, appreciate you. 2, be proud of yourself, like I said, not for who you were, not for who you are going to be in a few weeks or a few months, but be proud of yourself for who you are. Like little accomplishments, like, I don't know, going on a walk or going to a gym or trying something new, learning how to snowboard, doing well with tests, little things. Just take notice and be proud of yourself. 3, and I could have like a 2-hour conversation with you guys about this, so I'll try to keep it as short as I can. Eat well, feel well. It's my favorite thing in the world to go by, because if you eat like crap, you're going to feel like crap. If you eat fast food, if you eat processed food, if you eat sugar, in my opinion, we don't have to go down this road, but if you eat gluten, sometimes too much bread, I think it makes you feel gross. And when you feel gross, you're
Hi.
But for the most part, the food we put in our body, it affects us, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And we can get into these bad habits and bad addictions, and it's really easy. So if you eat well, if you eat wholesome foods and good meat and lots of veggies, and if you splurge every once in a while on chocolate, or and not get guilty and not feel guilty and not get down on yourself, then you're going to feel like a whole better person. And then you're going to get moving, and that's really, really important. Is going outside, or whether it's going on a walk, or whether it's going to the gym, even though that might be scary. There's always different ways to get moving, and these are the ways that you can learn how to love yourself in this beautiful cycle of arrows that won't stop moving. But it all ties in, and if you can learn how to kind of do one thing, the rest of it kind of happens. So even though it's overwhelming to like, oh, I've got to get fit or I've got to get healthy, it's pretty natural. Once you get the cycle rolling, it's a good continuum that happens. Okay. Wait. I feel like I missed something important. Oh yeah. So now, I guess the main thing is when I went to Keystone, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and I learned how to love myself, then I think I really was able to learn how to love others and help others. And so I found my passion, and I can't even tell you how proud I am of my clients, especially Jeff Parker, and cry. But I'm lucky enough to be a personal trainer and a nutrition coach, and I could not be happier for it. So started my own business here in Denver, and I really think it all came down to deciding to love myself and deciding to go to the gym and start that process of learning what was what and how to eat right and what was good for me. And now I feel like I can help other people do that. So please ask questions at the end of this for anybody that feels like they might need some help, because I think that's why I'm on this. Okay, excellent. And the last one, be knowingly optimistic. I think my biggest pet peeve is people who expect bad things, because you're going to get bad things if you expect bad things. And people that expect, oh man, my luck is so bad, it's probably going to happen to me. Well, yeah, it's going to happen to you, because you have that horrible negative attitude. And you never would see that happen if you are watching a superhero film or seeing some comic book these guys are like, I can do it. Let me do it. Get out of the way. I will save the world. And that's how you should be like in everyday life. Just like, I'm going to be able to do this. I'm a fighter. I can, no matter what the circumstances, no matter who the villain is, whether it's Green Goblin or a giant pizza, or whether it's Final Week, or whether it's Poison Ivy. That's also, I guess she's a kind of a villain, right? Just like a sexy villain. No matter what it is, just believe that you can conquer it. And when you feel like you can conquer it, you take control. And when you take control, all of a sudden you start unleashing that inner superhero. And my last slide is be annoyingly optimistic because, drum roll, because everything is going to work out perfectly. And no matter what, even though it's not a perfect movie story for our life, and there's going to be times where shit goes down, for the most part, our lives are pretty damn good. And we have a beautiful, beautiful friends, and we live in this beautiful place, a beautiful state, and it's huge, right? It's a beautiful thing. And everything is going to work out perfectly. So just keep being positive and keep fighting for what you want to do. And just like Jeff said, find your motivation and Mary Rose, right? Yeah, you have to find balance. Just like Johnny said, find balance. Health and wellness is about finding what's best for you and finding how to make yourself the best possible version of yourself. And to me, I really do firmly believe that there is this invisible superhero that's in every single one of us. And we just kind of have to like wake it up and be like, yeah, I can be that badass. Like, I don't want to keep looking at the screen and be like, oh, she's so cool, or oh, he's like so strong. Like, that should be you. You should be like, yes, damn, I'm awesome. So that is my story for you guys today. Don't be afraid to get courageous and try something new. Try to sing, go to the gym, cut out bread. That is all